Hey guys, Golden Nova with the post-tournament announcement video. I'm gonna get the negatives out of the way first so that I can get to the objective stuff later, but I just want to say that I didn't expressly like the tournament, not for anyone else's fault in the administration or just the duels, because the duels were fun, except for one, but only because that went too short. Um, the old GB deck is gone, stolen by some crazy person out there who decided that human decency was, you know, worth the cost to steal someone's deck. But I've ranted about that as much as I care to rant about on my blog. So if you care to read the ramblings of a victim, then go right ahead. But I still had Machinas, so I was able to complete the tournament, which is kind of good. And so yeah, on to the more upbeat stuff. I was able to get the Ryos on time, so I was able to switch out the Raikos, and the Ryos weren't always tested at maximum because they usually ended up getting bottomless or deprisoned or something to get rid of them. But when they were on the field, they were usually a big help. You know, a 19 beater that stops special summons and additional pulls. I never got to stop I never got to stop a Dark Soul, but what are you gonna do? Though I think it would have helped if I had had Dark Souls before I entered practice, because I was never really looking for its send to graveyard to negate effect. So I'm pretty sure there were some times that I could have taken advantage of that would have saved the duel. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. That was all the deck changes that I got. I was almost going to run something that I call Dark Locomotives, but I think the person who gave me the deck list said it was different. His name is 110. I haven't been to his page yet, but he was the guy who got me into the tournament, so shout out to him. I'm going to link to him if he has a page, because that's the name he gave me. I don't know if he has a page yet. And I don't know whether or not I can show this deck yet. I'm going to get his permission, because I liked how fast it looked. Used all kinds of Decoichis and black salvos. It was pretty fun looking. So my record was 4-3, but it was more of a 3-3 because one of my wins came from having an opponent drop on me. So 3-3 record technically. No, technically it would be a 4-3, but for reality purposes it was a 3-3. My first duel was against an X-Saber deck, and it was against a very good X-Saber deck, and I won 2-1. And I have to say that Jaugen the Spiritual was just won that for me right at the end. But most of my other plays were rather effective against the X-Saber deck. So I think it's funny that I actually beat that, because that was the deck I was fearing most. So that happened. Game 2 was against a Gladiator Beast deck, which I lost against 1-2, and I would have won it, but the guy had Pulling the Rugs side decked. So when he saw that I ran Machinas, he swapped those in, and I literally would have won, because we were both down to like 1,000 life points. I think I was a little higher, like 114, and I summoned Yellow Gadget, and if I hadn't searched with its effect, I would have won, because he pulled Pulling the Rug, he pulled Pulling the Rug on me, and killed Yellow Gadget, leaving me open for a direct attack with a Quest A next turn. But it was really close, and that makes me happy, because I know that Glad Beasts are really strong in this format, and I was able to stand my ground against them for that long and almost win. So that was cool. Next was some kind of... I never got the actual deck, but this was the fast one that I didn't think was quite as fun. But it was... it looked Teledad-ish. I didn't see any dads though, but like every duel, he pulled out E-Teleport. And I lost that one too. And I mean like 1, 2, as in 1 loss, 1 win, 2 losses. But that was because, no, that was one that I couldn't help. I kind of bit the dust on that one because he got Chaos Sorcerers out really quickly. So the duel after that was... See, that was my third game, so it was... The fourth game was against some kind of weird Chaos Stun build. Not even Stun, I just kind of said Stun. But it was a Chaos build. And once again, Chaos Sorcerers kind of killed me, kept removing play my stuff, and I didn't have a lot to side in against that. Because I didn't expect it. I had Necro Valleys, but I didn't pull it out as much, and I'll get to that later in the video. The next one was my bye. The one after that was another X-Saber deck, and I beat that one 2-0. I don't know if that was as well built as the first one, though, so I don't know how much pride I take in that one. And the last one was a 6 Samurai deck, which I won against 2-1. Also very powerful, and I'm glad it wasn't the build that a friend that I was introduced to that weekend used. His name was Blake something. I don't think I ever got his last name, but he's a friend of 1-0, and he went 6-1 in that tournament with a 6 Samurai deck. And I never got his build, and he was rather adamant about no one knowing it, so that's never coming up here. I just would have gotten to duel him so that I could know what it was like. So for all I know, it could have very well been the same build. But I still lost 2-1, and dear God, those guys are fearsome. I mean, there's the one that Robo Robotnik has, but I don't think it's built as to the same caliber as these X-Saber decks. In fact, I know it's not to the same caliber. And with Kaizen and this rumored 6 Samurai tuner coming out, ew. I may not be scared of just those Polar Gods anymore. I'm probably going to be more scared of the 6 Samurais. So that was the tournament record. So what I learned about this thing, Necro Machinas. Necro Valley, the experimental field spell card. I gotta wonder if this card has any more future in this deck. When it was on the field, it helped. I stopped Full Troll. I stopped Grandmaster from using his retrieval effect. I stopped quite a few things. So whenever Necro Valley was on the field, it helped. But having it at 3 didn't guarantee the pulls. And it's not quite as effective in most decks as in others. So my dilemma is this. Do I change the deck and keep Necro Valley side decked? Or do I go balls to the walls with Necro Valley? And I had two ideas of that. One, if I wanted to keep Necro Valley in, was to main deck more Gravekeeper's Commandments. I say more. But to put in Gravekeeper's Commandments. That way I have a search for Necro Valley if I don't have it, and a 21 beater if I do have it. So that's that. Or, I thought of this weird idea, and it's definitely not pro, but I was thinking Herald of Creation, which is this 1800 attack spell cast level 4 that you can, once per turn, you can discard a card and add a level 7 or higher from your graveyard to your hand. So I was thinking, like, if ever I needed the hand, or had a useless card in my hand, I could dump it for Force or Fortress. I don't even know why I bothered doing this. I'm looking at the camera screen right now, and I can hardly see these. So if you guys can't, bravo. But back on subject, I can pitch a card to make it either a Fortress or a Force, which might make it faster. There's also the idea of making it the Jinzo, TK, hell, adding Future Fusion in there with the Herald of Creation idea would make sure that I have Fortresses in the grave and Forces, and if I'm lucky I get an Overdragon. All these ideas are just floating in my head right now. I know I don't want to change from Machinas, because Machinas have potential. If I can get 4-3 as an amateur duelist without things like Pot of Duality or Solemn Warning or Effect Veiler, all these new Duels Genesis cards, I think this deck can make it. I really do. So, on that note, I guess, party hard, guys. I'll talk to you later.